All right, what's going on YouTube? We in here for another one. Happy Sunday. Let me ask you a question real quick before we go ahead and get started in this commentary. Is there a company out here, a company on these gaming streets right now that pisses you off more than Activision? With greed, shady tactics, and just being straight up assholes, man. Honestly, with greed, I would give that edge to Bungie. What they're doing with Destiny 2 is just straight criminal, man. Destiny 2 could be the greatest game on this planet, and they just keep fucking with it, man. But this is not a commentary about Destiny 2. I'm so disappointed with Destiny 2, man. That could be the greatest game ever, and they just keep screwing everybody over with that game because they just don't care. They got that new joint dropping. What is it, like an extraction shooter or whatever? I don't know. It seems like all their care has gone to that game. They don't give a shit about Destiny 2 anymore. They don't give a shit about Destiny anymore. It feels like anyways, but this is not a commentary about Destiny. This is a commentary. We'll get back to Call of Duty. Is there a company out here that pisses you off more than Activision? Xbox? Microsoft? Stop dragging your feet, man. When are you going to hurry up and close this deal? I'm still salty. My butt is still hurting over SM2. I was so looking forward to that joint, and they let the good people over there work on that for years, and then they just reach over and they just snatch that shit. So we are now officially in the last week of Warzone 1. Warzone 1 Caldera is shutting down this week. If you didn't know, now you know. They announced this a while back, and I remember thinking when they announced it, I might even have mentioned this in a commentary as well. Why don't they just, if they know they're shutting it down, why don't they just bring back everybody's favorite map? I remember back in the day, everybody complained about Caldera. You guys got to remember, I'm not really in the Warzone scene, right? But we're going to get to that in a minute. But everybody was complaining about Caldera. Everybody's hating on Warzone Deuce. Why didn't they just bring back Verdansk knowing that it was gone in a few months? It's not like they still don't have overpriced, cringe as hell bundles in Warzone 1. Oh, that's right. You can't have that because you need people on your new whack game. You give us a piece of shit game, but you need those monthly active users. The people who get on, maybe play 5 minutes. They get on, realize that they hate it. They get off. They don't touch it again for the rest of the month. You need those numbers to brag to your shareholders, right, Activision? See, this is just the Activision way. Take out what you like. Take out what you love even. Replace it with nothing or replace it with absolute shit. There's been a few people that have accused me over the years of just hating Warzone. Ah, Gilmore, you hate Warzone. Well, yeah, I'll be the first one to admit that Warzone is not for me, but I feel like it's got its place here. It most definitely has its place here, but if I've ever thrown shade at Warzone, it's because multiplayer has been on the back burner since Warzone got here. We've had 3,000 devs work on Modern Warfare Deuce, Warzone, DMZ, and the whole nine, and apparently that's not enough because Warzone's lacking, multiplayer's lacking, even people are complaining about DMZ and shit. Apparently 3,000 devs is not enough. If we had a juicy multiplayer, if we had a multiplayer like Black Ops 2, multiplayer with depth like Black Ops 3, we had some great maps, the whole nine, right? We had a serviceable multiplayer even. Crank down the skill-based matchmaking a little bit, get rid of these fucking rigged gunfights, and just had a fun multiplayer. Warzone absolutely has its place, man. Give us a fun multiplayer and make Warzone the best version of that game that it could possibly be. We deserve it. We pay for it, don't we? You should always strive to be the best. You're out here taking people's money. But anyways, let's get to the meat and potatoes. I'm getting a little bit too sidetracked here. So Activision once again sends out a cease and desist to individuals who were playing Verdansk again on an internal leaked Modern Warfare 2019 build. I actually saw a bunch of posts about this just randomly on my timeline on Twitter. I'd sign on and I'd see people talking about it, and it was like, I think it was like 20 to like 40 people just playing on a private server. They found a way to play Verdansk again because they're tired of Caldera, they're tired of Warzone 2. So they were just playing on their favorite Warzone map, just by themselves in a private server. Activision goes ahead and hits them with a cease and desist. They go on to say, this is from Activision, by the way, our content reflects the passionate work of our amazing development teams. We deeply appreciate the enthusiasm, but consistent with any intellectual property, it's important that we preserve and protect Call of Duty and the incredibly talented developers who create it from unauthorized use. What unauthorized use are you talking about, Activision? People are just trying to enjoy your game. People once enjoyed your game, something that you had in your game, and you took it away like a bunch of savages. You know that that's what people loved in Warzone, was that map. You give them a shitty map for a replacement. Then you give them a shittier map for another replacement. They just want to play the Warzone that they enjoy. Who are you protecting this shit from, man? They ain't hurting nobody. They ain't making no money. They ain't hurting a fucking soul. Listen, let me tell you something. The developers who worked on Verdansk, they were probably pleased to hear this, that people were jumping through hoops to go back and play that map because they enjoyed it that much on a private server with not even a full lobby. Those developers were actually probably happy to hear it. And you're out here hitting them with a cease and desist, man. They ain't making no money. They ain't selling anything. What the fuck are they doing wrong? Other than you want them on the new game, buying the new bundles, and getting those numbers up so you can brag about it. So that's what I'm saying, man. You hear from these shills all the time. They complain about us, right? They complain about us how we'll get these new maps in Call of Duty, but we don't usually like them because most of them suck. But then we also complain about getting remasters constantly over and over again because we paid for them multiple times and we played those maps to death at this point. I'm in that boat with Modern Warfare 3. I don't hate it. I don't love it that it's bringing back all the OG Modern Warfare 2 maps. I don't love it because I played those maps to death just in Modern Warfare 2 alone back in the day. But we've seen these maps in a few different Call of Duties at this point, man. And you just kind of get tired of seeing them over and over again. There's no originality. There's no creativity there. But when they make a new map these days, these new maps, most of them, they suck, man. These dudes, like, they ain't got the juice anymore. They don't have that formula that they had to make maps. Like, they can't make new maps. Why can't we demand new good maps? If they could make new original maps that are actually good, all of us would be happy with that. Nobody would be complaining. But they can't make new maps. They make shit ass maps that everybody hates. So all they got left is to remaster what's old. And you got these fucking shills out here running their mouths, flapping their gums, complaining about us because we have a problem with this. They have no creativity, no originality, and they're out here charging you full price. And then some. Plus bundles. Plus battle passes every season. Black Cell battle passes in the whole nine. It goes on and on. And now we got this free-to-play game mode jam-packed. Like all the way packed. With microtransactions, bundles, all that horseshit. But this free-to-play game mode that was once they had this map for years, right? They go ahead, they drop a new game, they fuck up the movement. People who enjoyed Warzone back then, they hate the movement in this game now. And they also hate the replacement maps that they've gotten since then. So they figured out a way to go back and play what they like. They're not making any money. They're not hurting anybody. And Activision hits them with a cease and desist. That is some of the scummiest shit I think I've ever seen out here. And we've seen some scummy ass shit from Activision. That is just so fucking cringe, man. Like, people are still playing your game, though. They're still playing Call of Duty. So they play Verdansk until that shit is all shut down. They can't even get on it anymore. What do you think they're going to do? They're probably going to slide over to Warzone 2 and probably buy a few bundles when they get over there. It's a win-win. But Activision doesn't see it that way. They only see the scum. Anyways, that's all I got on this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on that next one.